everybody, I'm Joan and this is Yoda, and I'm here today to practice some Yin Yoga with you. So today, if you could grab maybe a blanket or two blankets rolled up and a pillow or a couple pillows, maybe from your couch, maybe even a couch cushion, or maybe two pillows from your bed. That would be great. So for our first pose today, we're going to center ourselves. And don't worry, I will walk you through each pose and explain to you the concept behind Yin Yoga as we begin. So sitting up tall, cross-legged, let your arms float over your knees, relaxing down, crown of the head reaching up, sits bones grounded down into the floor. As we take a deep inhale through the nose, and an exhale through the mouth. We'll do this again. Deep inhale through the nose. And sigh it out the mouth or exhale. One more time. Allowing yourself to just let your breath return to normal. And our group intention today is may yoga through yin postures help you restore yourself and re-energize yourself. And on the next inhale, letting the eyes float open. And we'll get ready for our first pose, which is going to be butterfly pose. So soles of the feet come together. And we're going to take a pillow and allow that to come in front of us. And we're going to grab maybe our feet. Inhale and exhale down. And maybe we don't grab the feet. Maybe we let our hands go. And I'm noticing already that my back is reaching down towards my feet a little too much. And I want to create a little more of a cushion there. So I'm going to add my blanket. So you can add two pillows or two blankets. And again, take an inhale here. And you can let your hands relax down. You can hold your feet or just let your hands drape over your cushion. And then finding a place for your forehead. Maybe you rest it on your pillow or your blanket, or make a little pillow with your hands. And gently rest your head or your chin down. And in this position, I'm finding that I'm comfortable here. I don't need any more blankets or props. I am going to adjust myself and bring it in a little closer. And when we hold a yin pose, we hold it between 3 and 6 minutes. We also really let go as we do that. Because in yin yoga, we're not getting into the muscles. We're getting into the connective tissue, the fascia. And the other principle of yin yoga is that we let ourselves let go of any tension. And I'm noticing a little more tension in my back, so I'm gently going to release my heels a little bit further away from my body as I come forward. And I'm going to prop my chin up on my hands so that I feel a little more relaxed. So the key to yin yoga is sinking into the posture. Letting the muscles go, releasing them so that we can get into that connective tissue, ligaments and joints. Letting go of all tension in my back and my shoulders. And adjusting as you go. If you find you need to take away a cushion or even my hand, which I'm going to do, and make it a little bit lower, finding yourself sinking into this position and allowing yourself to continue to breathe in and out. And we're going to hold this position for at least 3 minutes. And as we go, again, adjust. If you find that you're not totally comfortable, you can absolutely change your position a little bit or add a blanket or subtract a blanket. And if you find your mind wandering from the present moment, bring your attention to your inhales This Yin Yoga also teaches patience with ourselves, staying still, and being okay with whatever comes up in the moment, and staying with it. Continuing to breathe and hold here. One more minute. And taking 5 more breaths here, sinking in, letting all the tension go. start to come out of it, we move very slowly, very mindfully, because we don't want to stress out our nervous system, because we've already settled in and we want to keep that vibe going. So slowly removing your props from what you had. Stretching the legs out one at a time. Bending the knees, allowing the knees to drop over, hips width distance apart to one side and then the other. Maybe a couple times, nice and slow and mindfully. Taking a breath here. And then getting ready for supported fish pose. So we're going to be laying on our backs on our props. And maybe you take 2 pillows or a blanket and a pillow. Coming over here, sending your hips close to the pillows. And then letting your body fall back onto the pillows. And your legs, you have a choice. You can either allow your legs to be in butterfly position again if you want to continue the opening in your hips. You can let your legs go out long if that feels good. Or you can widen the legs a little more out long if that feels good on your tailbone. So, once you're in the pose, if you feel like you need to adjust something, you can do so. But again, moving very mindfully, very carefully. I actually want to make myself up a little higher. So I'm going to fold my blanket a little bit deeper. I'm going to come down on my back, letting my chest open, arms come out to the side, palms open. I'm going to get my head in position, and then finding yourself relaxed in the pose that you want to be in. And I'm actually going to draw my feet together because that feels good for my body today. And I'm going to feel my back into the cushion, center it, and let my head drop back when I'm ready. And then the next principle, again, is to get still. Continuing to breathe in and out in a relaxed fashion. Your body will continue to give you feedback throughout the pose, and you can adjust if you need to. So this is going to allow our chest to slowly, very slowly open up a little more. And again, not using any muscles, letting the muscles go in the arms and the shoulders as best as possible. And continuing to breathe here. Most yin poses are held between 3 to 6 minutes. We're going to hold for about 3 minutes total, so a couple more minutes. And noticing if your face has any tension in it. Just letting that go, letting your tongue relax back in your mouth. And if you started out in butterfly and your hips feel a little tight, again, you want to find that edge where you're comfortable and you can hold it for long. So I'm actually going to widen my feet out a little bit because I notice some tension in my hips. So you want to find that edge in Yin Yoga where there is a mild stretch or a moderate stretch between your body weight and gravity. But you don't want to feel a strong muscle stretch. You want your muscles to relax and you want to let go. Again, feeling that mild, gentle stretch. And I'm getting quiet so you can relax over the next minute. Five more breaths here. And then very slowly it's beginning to move your arms, moving them underneath you to support your body as you begin to come up. Again, mindfully, very slowly, allowing your legs to stretch out, allowing the arms to reach up. Maybe there's a gentle forward fold here, letting the head drop. Our next pose is going to be supported child's pose. So we're going to turn towards our props, moving very gently and slowly. And I would like my props. I'm going to use both of them because I want some height. I'm going to bring my big toes together. I'm going to widen my legs And I'm going to come down into child's pose. And I'm going to let my arms come around like this here and I'm going to find a place for my forehead. Actually going to fold my blanket so my head can rest on the blanket. So I come down. So my body adjusts once I'm here. I see if this is comfortable for me. And I find this does work for me, so I'm going to settle in, holding my pose for at least 3 minutes. I'm going to let the muscles in my back and shoulders just relax down as I sink into child's pose. I'm going to continue to notice any feedback my body is giving me. If something becomes too intense, I'm going to adjust so that I'm comfortable. I found the edge where I feel a gentle stretch, a gentle opening in my hips and lower back. So I'm going to continue to breathe here, letting go. Sending the breath into my belly and exhaling out what no longer serves me. Physical tension, emotional tension. I am noticing a little tension in my upper back area. So I'm just going to remove my top cushion, my top blanket. I'm going to allow myself to sink down a little bit more into child's pose. And again, in child's pose, the arms are reaching forward, palms are flat on the ground. And sometimes removing props or adding props will help you come deeper into the pose. And you might have 3 blankets or 3 pillows. It doesn't matter, but making the pose your own so that the muscles can relax and we can get into that connective tissue. I'm also noticing that I like to bring my knees a little closer together. So again, always chasing that mild release, gentle release. Taking your last 5 breaths here. Steady breath. And then gently coming out of the pose, moving very slowly as we get ready for our final pose. So our final pose I'll demonstrate is going to be getting into a bridge position with a cushion underneath your lower back, tailbone, hip area. And you can either lift up and place the pillow or the blanket underneath you, or the 2 pillows, or it might be a little easier to actually sit on your pillow. But again, moving slowly, continuing that relaxation response that you've started. So, allowing the shoulder blades to come down so that you have a bit of an inversion here. Your hips are inverted up. And if you need more, you can always insert another pillow or block or blanket. So allowing yourself to get comfortable. Now, both shoulder blades should be on the floor as you sink into the mat. And we'll get our legs in position next, letting one of your legs go long. And then sending one leg in towards the chest. Wrapping your hands gently around that knee, but in a way that you're not using a lot of muscle strength. So adjust your hips, adjust your shoulder blades, adjust your hands. And find the stillness in this Yin modified dragon pose. That will help you release the top of the leg and the hips. So we'll hold the pose again, a total of 3 minutes. We'll let our muscles go, letting our back muscles and releasing our arm muscles as best as possible. Allowing ourselves to get into the connective tissue as we use gravity and our body weight to sink into this pose. Steady breath, inhaling and exhaling out. And then sinking in, maybe closing your eyes. Yin Yoga targets your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest area of breath, so that your body gets the cue to release. So we're releasing the tension physically and any emotions that may arise. Again, being present for them and still and patient. And about halfway through our 3 minutes, we'll switch the legs. So taking another 6 breaths here. And we'll start to draw the other knee in. Before we switch knees, you can gently release the legs up. You can also gently allow the legs to gently pull in. This might feel uncomfortable for you. There's a lot of weight on your chest, or it might feel comforting. It depends what feels good to you. And then allowing the opposite leg to come in and the other leg, the knee you just skid, to go back out long. And then finding the pose on the other side. And finding the stillness. Breathing into the pose. Letting gravity help you release in a gentle way. Growing quiet as you breathe here. Taking another 5 to 6 breaths in this position. Allowing the eyes to float open if they were closed. As we release the hands, letting the leg go long. Making the arms and letting them stretch overhead if this feels good. Maybe stretching the legs in the opposite direction. Bring the arms around to the side. And drawing one knee in and then the other. Letting the legs go up to waterfall or legs up. And taking 3 breaths here before we end in Shavasana. And if it feels good to let the legs go up, this is absolutely a perfect pose for Shavasana. Letting the heart be below the legs. You can stay here, or you can come over into Shavasana, letting the legs go long. Taking your bolsters out or your pillows out one at a time. And since this is Yin Yoga, we'll take a restful Shavasana, letting the blanket move under the knees or putting a pillow under the knees. Positioning the body so that the legs, the knees are supported, the pillow or a blanket. Legs can gently flop open, arms can be alongside the body, palms up to receive energy or palms down to ground you. Allowing yourself to lay here, taking 10 to 20 breaths here. Or staying here as long as you'd like. Letting the face relax, letting the tongue fall back in the mouth. Feeling the shoulder blades on the floor, grounding you. Feet relaxed, legs and toes release. Pelvis relaxed. Torso releases. Arms and fingers relax. Head grows heavy. Giving yourself permission for a deep release here. Breath is easy and relaxed. And you can stay here for as long as you like. Or you could take just 5 more breaths here. And then beginning to move very slowly, keeping with the principles of Yin, the principle to move very slowly between poses, removing your block or your bolster. Allowing the knees to draw gently in towards the body unless you decided to take a longer Shavasana. Rolling from side to side on the back, letting it release very slowly. And when you're ready, letting the knees fall over to one side, arms come out to a T. And then letting the knees come back to the center. Letting the knees fall over to the other side. Arms stay out to a T and long. One more breath here. Just taking a gentle twist. And then when you're ready, letting the knees come back towards the center, either wide-legged or closer together. And then rolling over to one side with the knees, letting the hands make a pillow for the head. As we come to a fetal position, taking a breath here, grateful for the energy you had to practice Yin Yoga today. And then slowly pushing yourself up, one hand, head comes up last. Coming to comfortable seated position on the mat where we began. Inhaling the arms up, reaching up out of the waist. Exhaling the hands together and down to the heart. Thank you for practicing with me today.